Think I might be over my troubles since you came around. Something struck me. Oh, lately I've been caught up in my mind. Oh, it's not hard to see why I was feeling down. You saw right through it all. Oh, I could not fake it, no matter how I tried. Ooh, you cured my head.
What's up, guys? Today I'm going to do a film review. It's been a while since I've done a film review, so I'm sure some of you who've been following the reviews I do will really like this one. I'm going to review Luther the Fallen Son, which is basically an adaptation of Idris Elba's television series produced by BBC, Luther, where he plays the titular character John Luther. Luther is fantastic. I would say both the series and actually now this movie that was made in 2023, the year we are at, this movie does justice to the original format that is the series. So I would really urge anybody who has not watched Luther at all to first of all start by watching the television series. I think it's on BBC and some other streaming services. You could get it there, and then after you watch at least the first 2 seasons, I don't think the movie is basically a spoiler. It's not a spoiler as far as storylines go, but it may be a spoiler in terms of characterization of the main characters within the Luther universe goes. So I urge you for sure, Luther is something that is in my, I've never ranked the series though, but I would give it an 8 over 10 or maybe an 8.5. I will do a thorough kind of in-depth review, not my typical short reviews where I tell you whether it's worth watching or it ain't, though it's definitely worth watching. But I'll do a more in-depth review of Luther itself, the series, where I will get to unpack why it's arguably one of the best cop shows or even dramas and psychodramas of all time. Luther, again, fantastic screenplay, fantastic storylines, and I always say this, the purpose of film is to simulate reality into the realm of the arts that is filmmaking. The purpose of film, in my view, is to simulate the themes that we face in everyday life in the format that is film or in the medium that is film. And this is done perfectly in Luther the Fallen Son. You get to hate, the audience gets to hate the villain. And it's obvious why, because they draw you so much into the atrocities of these criminal acts to the point you're really disgusted and actually feel that this guy is a villain. And that is a tick because it means the themes have been well portrayed. Andy Serkis, Cynthia Erivo, Idris Elba, and a cast, some from the original television series, make this a product worth watching. I also liked the fact that they shot some scenes in Iceland, I believe, where we go into the snow, bringing a different setting. The way the mind perceives settings, not just in film, even in real life, affects how you react to situations. So we are moved from London, the city, and all of a sudden we are in Iceland, in the snow. And that does a lot in terms of not just shock value, but in terms of storytelling value and in terms of audience engagement. And for me, being a sucker for espionage, being a sucker for the OG kind of series like La Femme Nikita, Counter-Strike, and the likes, you get a sense that Luther is more than a cop show. And now the film is much more than an adaptation, which often, if you've seen my reviews, fall short of the original formats. Luther the Fallen Sun does justice to the original series, which I believe is 4 or 5 seasons. So definitely worth watching. I would give Luther 7 over 10. 7 over 10 is a pretty good rating coming from me. Those of you who've been watching my reviews, again, if you have never engaged with my content on the review end, you could always check out my playlist called Reviews. I mean, what are the odds of a playlist being called Reviews? Yeah, it's Reviews. Just go to my YouTube channel, Reviews. I am very thorough in terms of my reviews and how I look at films, because I hold myself to the same standard, because these are the kind of films I hope to be making one day. And as a lover of film, and as a filmmaker as well, I know there's a certain threshold of quality that you need to maintain. 7 is a really good rating. Any movie that gets 7 over 10 from me is a really good movie. I urge you to watch the original format, BBC Luther series. I think it's about 4 or 5 seasons. I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched it. I watched it about a couple of years after it was out and ready. Definitely worth watching. So, which other film do you want me to review? Which other series do you want me to review? And I'll just say, I may not be reviewing as much as I did before. My schedule has become tighter. But whenever there's something worthwhile such as this, I will always obviously squeeze in some time to drop another review. Tell me what you think about Luther the Fallen Sun. It's streaming on Netflix. If you have a subscription, you could watch it there or buy the DVD. You know, us over here, we are anti-piracy. We are all law-abiding citizens. So anyway, till next time, I hope you like this review.